Whoa there, Christopher. I'm sure it's going to be just fine. Mario's not going to be that bad. The internet's just making fun of you for a second. Even if it is, you still got Garfield, and if that's bad like Bill Murray's, I mean, we still got Star-Lord, so... Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Film Fan Reviews. I'm Steve, this is your first time here then.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Now this movie I've been waiting for a very long time, it seems like, because I saw the announcements, it got pushed back because of COVID and all that, and this is Jurassic World Dominion. I'm a big fan of both of the Jurassic World movies, honestly. I really loved the first one when I saw it in IMAX. Some of the CG stuff is a bit cartoonish sometimes, and it doesn't really hold up as well, but they mixed in some practical in that, like how they did with the original, which the original still holds up pretty damn well. I mean, some of the close-ups and some of the digital stuff they put in doesn't look as good, but the far-away stuff with the digital looks cool, and the practical looks so good. And Fallen Kingdom has more practical in it too, but it's still heavy on the CGI, and they kind of do that whole haunted house but with dinosaurs in the end, which I personally enjoy, but I know a lot of people might not. But in Dominion, I would say they probably use more practical than they have in any of the World movies so far. A lot of the practical dinosaurs looked really cool, and you can kind of see how practical they were because they were touching them and feeling them, and it's just not the same because a lot of times if you don't know it, they're petting like green balls and just random things to interact with because the CG stuff obviously isn't there, so they're just reacting to it, and it looks so much better, and the actors honestly act a lot better when they have something in the scene with them. So when they create these practical puppets and whatnot, it just makes everything so much better and elevates it. So practical all the way. If you're a future filmmaker, try to use practical as much as possible. Blending both practical and digital is usually the best outcome most of the time, especially with today's technology, but use practical as much as possible because it shows. But did I absolutely love Dominion? I did not. I think it's a very fun movie, and if you're a fan of dinosaurs and the Jurassic Park movies and whatnot, I still think you're going to have a very fun time. I mean, if you're here to see dinosaurs on the big screen, you get that, and you get so much of it in this movie, probably even more than the last one especially. There's tons of dinosaurs everywhere, they're kind of just wreaking havoc on a few different places, and it's pretty interesting to see what they do and how they interact with people at times, because some of them are nicer, some of them are obviously still very wild and want to attack anything that they don't understand, so that dynamic was pretty interesting. They don't take it as far as I would have liked them to, like them tearing up cities and stuff. Like, they kind of show it in flashbacks, and I think it would have been more interesting to kind of see it happen live, but we did see it in the last two movies, so I kind of get why they didn't as much, but I was kind of looking forward to that more and was kind of let down by the fact that it didn't really happen, but I digress. The dinosaur action was shot pretty well, but a lot of the other stuff and some of the action sequences and they're like running from people, it looks so bad and shaky and really annoying, kind of like the Bourne movies, which I like the storytelling in the Bourne movies, but the action and the way they film it with like shaky cam and like the frame rate being ramped up, that's kind of what they did here. I'm not a big fan of that. I'm a big fan of action movies and seeing the action in camera, and unfortunately they just couldn't do it here. I don't know if it was budget constraints or the performers just weren't there and didn't have the capabilities to do some of these things, but unfortunately I think it kind of, you can't really see what's going on at times, and it kind of ruins the visuals. I don't think it ruined the whole movie, but it was kind of disappointing just to see them do that, and personally I just wasn't a big fan of it, so I don't know. One thing I was really looking forward to going in was seeing the old cast and the characters of like Alan Grant, Ian Malcolm, and Ellie Stratler, and just everybody that we grew to love in that original trilogy, and it didn't feel like they necessarily needed to be in this movie. It kind of felt like they were written in because they wanted that star power, which I understand that's kind of what brought me in and probably will bring in more audiences, but were they necessary to this story? I don't think so, unfortunately. I would love to see them maybe even be in a movie without Chris Pratt in this whole story. No offense to you, Chris Pratt. I still like you more than most people, I think, but I don't think that those characters really needed to be here. They kind of helped out and they were side characters at best, but for those characters that we grew to love, it kind of felt like they took a backseat to everything, and honestly, most of this action and most of this story probably could have happened without them being there, but loved seeing their faces. They all put on great performances and still felt like those characters from almost 30 years ago at this point. So if you're a fan of those movies and you love seeing those characters, you're going to have fun with it, but don't expect them to be like the main focus, because I don't think it's really that necessary for this Jurassic World series rather than Jurassic Park. So That's just me. I'm curious to hear what you would think and your thoughts in the comments. Let me know. But yeah, I don't think it was necessary, but I just loved seeing their faces again. Now, on my 5-star rating scale, I really enjoyed it, but I don't want to give it a high rating because I do think it's a bit of a mess. It's not the cleanest story, and it could have been cleaned up probably even in like a 90-minute rather than 2 hours and whatever it was. But on my 5-star rating scale, it is a 3 to a 3.5. I'm not sure where I'm going to be at. I'll decide in the edit, but 3.5 kind of works for me. And my franchise ranking, it kind of falls toward the middle, like Jurassic Park, mm, Jurassic World maybe, and then this one, Fallen Kingdom, Lost World, and then 3. And honestly, I don't really dislike any of those, and Fallen Kingdom and this one are kind of tied in the middle because I don't think they're bad movies, but I think they're a bit of a mess, and it kind of feels like they didn't know where they were going halfway into the story and kind of just wrote some random shit at times. But I enjoyed it. If you're a fan of dinosaurs and you love to see the big IMAX stuff and see the big spectacle movies and the big blockbusters, I think you'll get a kick out of this. It's not a perfect movie. It's not the best movie of the summer by any means, but it's a fun time, 3.5. And if you want to go check it out with your family, there are some more horrific elements to it, but it is nowhere near a horror movie. And I think most kids, probably over the age of like 10 or so, you can probably take them to go see this and they'll have a blast seeing all those dinosaurs. So if you like my thoughts, please like this video and comment your thoughts below. I'd love to chat with you. Share this video with your friends if you think they might check out this movie or want to know their thoughts, and have a chat with them. Have them subscribe to me. Maybe subscribe yourself. Check out my podcast channel. That'll be linked down there. It is called The Adam and Steve Show. First episode just dropped last week, and it was a blast to make. More will be coming for that. Go subscribe to that. It's on iTunes. It's on Spotify, all that kind of stuff. Follow me on Letterboxd. And if you want to recommend movies for me to see soon, I don't know if I'll get to them very quickly, but I kind of think I want to make more videos about some older movies maybe. So comment some movies that you might want me to check out that might be a little older, might be your favorite movie, and I might make a video about it. So let me know, and thank you so much for watching, guys. And here's a post-credit scene from your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Got a lot of fucking hair under there.